After a trailer for Meghan and Harry's documentary started circulating online, the heavily trailed and hugely anticipated documentary is now here, and for some of you who thought it was going to be explosively good, prepare to be disappointed. While the series uses photos and videos to manipulate the truth, it would go on to show us some shocking revelations. Hi, I'm Stacey Taylor, and today I'm counting down the top 10 shocking revelations exposed in Meghan and Harry's documentary. So what revelations did you notice, and let us know in the comments below. And number 10, Princess Diana. In the first episode that was revealed to viewers, Harry would go on to compare Meghan to Princess Diana. Harry would go on to say so much of what Meghan is so similar to his mom. She has the same compassion, and she has the same empathy. She has the same confidence, she shares this warmth about her, and the episode would feature footage that was shown of William and Harry playing at a piano, and interview footage where you could see Diana talking about her two sons. While Harry goes on to say that the only thing he could remember about his childhood was that it was filled with laughter, happiness, and adventure, he would also mention that he didn't have any early memories of his mom, and it was almost like he internally sort of blocked him out, but all he could remember is her cheeky laugh and that she was always telling him that he could get into some trouble, but he had to be careful that he didn't get caught doing it. While Diana passed away, Harry was just 12 years old, and all the memories he could recall of his mother was being swarmed by the paparazzi, and that his advice was that he was given by the family to deal with the paparazzi was not to react and not to give into it. And number 9, the curtsy. In the second episode, Harry would describe how Meghan was when meeting the Queen for the first time. He described it as being a shock to the system. With the Queen being the first member of the royal family to meet Meghan, Harry waited until the absolute last moment to let Meghan know that she would be meeting the Queen. When the pair were in the car going to the Royal Lodge for lunch, Harry would last minute tell Meghan that his grandmother was here and that they would be going to meet her in the church. Harry would then ask Meghan if she knew how to curtsy, and Meghan at the time thought it was a joke, but I mean, it's the Queen of England, and in every fairy tale movie ever made, it's always taught us that when presented in front of the royal family, you need to bow or curtsy. With Harry trying to explain it was a pretty hard thing to explain to an American how to curtsy, Meghan would go on to try to compare the curtsy to something from medieval times, and she even did a reenactment on how she curtsied in front of the Queen on the camera. While Meghan went on to describe the meeting with the Queen and not understanding the whole curtsy thing, viewers definitely noticed that Harry was looking a little uncomfortable about the whole thing. Hey Peaches, are you enjoying this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. At number 8, comparing Diana to Meghan. When we all saw Harry compare the paparazzi following Diana to an online harassment faced by his wife Meghan, I don't think any of us really had any sympathy towards the two royals, as they both chose to get married and they understood what could come with it. The telling of episode 2 revealed a huge bombshell moment when Harry said, "To see another woman I love going through this feeding frenzy, it's hard." Harry would tell us all how Meghan has been repeatedly targeted by the media and how their relationship basically became hunter versus prey. However, when he tried to compare Meghan to Diana by saying, "Back when my mom was harassed by the paparazzi, physical harassment and cameras in your face, people chasing you, paparazzi still harasses people, but now the harassment exists more online." I think we can all agree that the harassment Meghan has received from the media is nothing like the harassment Diana faced. I get it, once the photographs came out, the media was out to get another story. While Meghan has gone through a huge feeding frenzy with the media, so has every other royal family member. However, considering that the two hired media to capture certain aspects, especially with their son, it's hard to say whether the two are telling the truth or not when it comes to the media. And number 7, the first date. According to both Harry and Meghan, the first date was at 76 Dean Street, which is the location of Soho House in London. Meghan would explain that she was really nervous and sort of panicking because Harry was late and she couldn't understand why he was late. With the Duchess worried about Harry being one of those guys with an ego who makes women sit around waiting, when he arrived she could see that he was genuinely embarrassed for being late. Meghan would also describe Harry as being fun, refreshing, and that she would note that they are pretty much like children together, and considering they walked away from royal duties, we could all agree we saw that they were children together before they even told us. The couple's first date lasted an hour, and then they had a good chat before leaving. And later on that evening, Meghan would even call him to ask him to go out for dinner with her before she had to leave the next day, and they had dinner at the same place they had their first date the next night. The couple then showed us a never before seen photo of the date where you can see Meghan snuggling into Harry's arm, and this was the exact exact moment, Harry would notice that this woman was amazing and everything he was looking for, as Meghan met everything he was looking for on his extensive list. And number 6, Halloween with Eugene and Jack. With Meghan and Harry trying to explain that there was a hierarchy when it came to the royal family, and that it was hard fitting in with the royals when the couple shared never before seen photos as they partied with Princess Eugene and Jack's Brooksbank on Halloween in their new Netflix documentary. The two would reveal that they both went out in Halloween costumes with Harry's cousins and her then boyfriend for a final night out before their relationship was revealed on Ellen. In the first episode of the series, the couple would go on to share their night out with a couple of snaps that showed us how fun the royal couple was having as they were all crowded together to gather a couple of snaps. Not everyone in the family asked the couple out, and some did enjoy actually hanging out with them. While all the snaps showed us the playful side of the royal family could have behind closed doors, it also showed us how not all the British family lived behind closed doors with a certain formality, and that not all Brits found it pretty jarring to hug. While the couple snuck out in Halloween costumes to have one final night out before the world came to know that they were a couple, they definitely had a wild night out in their bizarre costumes. And number 5, Harry on Meg exit day. In the opening scenes of the documentary, Harry is shown at Heathrow Airport by himself in March of 2020. This footage would come after the Meg exit crisis as he prepared to leave the UK for the last time as a senior royal. Harry would then say, "This is about duty and service, and I feel as though being a part of this family is my duty to uncover this exploitation of bribery that happens within our media." The cameras would then cut to Meghan by herself in Vancouver wearing a towel on her head saying, "Unfortunately, in us standing for something, they are destroying us." With the few dated clips, it suggests that the couple were already thinking about telling their story before they even exited from the royal family. Now, there's always been reports that the couple were going to play and exploit their royal status early on, and that the fact they clearly wanted to use some of this footage at some point. The couple's knowledge of the royal family essentially ended when they left the country and the institution, but that hasn't stopped them from trying to dig up more information to make their truth come to life. Number 4, Buckingham Palace. With the series beginning with a written statement on a black background saying it is a first-hand account on Harry and Meghan's story being told with never before seen personal archives. We would later come to know that a lot of the footage and photos were manipulated to make their stories seem stronger than they already were. However, it would go on to say that in all the interviews, they were finished by August of 2022, and the members of the royal family declined to comment on the content within the series, which makes sense because they have been worried for months about how all this information could be very damaging to the family's overall image. Harry's father, King Charles, his brother, Prince William, along with their wives, Camilla and Kate, are not expected to watch the series. However, royal aides will be tasked with closely monitoring the output and dissecting all the images and footage known so they can consider if it's even worth to respond to and initially figure out how the family should respond to Harry and Meghan's claims. With the king and the royal family carrying on with their royal duties as normal, the palace sources have come out to deny all the claims made against the family in the Netflix series. With the royal family not expected to issue a formal statement on the show, the family now braces down as they wait for the final episodes of the series to be released. And we're all wondering what other lies and revelations might soon be exposed. And number 3, the media. Throughout the episode, it's clear that Meghan and Harry can't stop claiming that the media has been trying to find a way to destroy Meghan, even if she's did so much to be good. In episode 2 of Harry's and Meghan's 6-part docu-series appeared a link to the European Union referendum to culture war in the UK at the time of their engagement in 2017. When the couple gathered enough courage to speak about the press coverage of Meghan, Meghan would finally say, at one point, she was still much believing that everything would just pass and it would get better. It's just what they do, right? At the very beginning. With the royal family promising the couple that once they were married, they wouldn't have to worry anymore because things would get better. Once the media got used to Meghan, it would all get better. The truth be told, no matter how hard Meghan tried to fit in with the royal family, no matter how hard she tried to please the press, and no matter what Meghan did to please both sides, everyone was still looking for ways to destroy her. However, claims were pretty much absurd. In the Tell documentary, both Harry and Meghan would try to accuse the media of wanting to destroy Meghan, with her claiming that the stories were vicious and that they were planted by the press. The idea that anyone was out to destroy her was frankly absurd. It's quite obvious that they think they were the victims, but it's more obvious that the royal family became victims to the lie told by the two in the documentary. And number 2, Archie has an American accent. As part of the Netflix program, it would show Archie speaking to Harry and Meghan with an American accent. In the first 3 episodes shown of the Bombshell docu-series, it would offer the world an insight into Meghan and Harry's family life in California, and it would show us glimpses of Archie and also some images of their 18-month-old daughter, with some of these images and footages revealing Archie's favorite song is Benny in the Jets by Elton John. In episode 2, there would be a longer clip of Archie looking at hummingbirds with his parents. Archie, who is shown at the bottom of the frame in the video, is chatting with his parents, and in the clip he could be heard chatting to them with an American accent. With both parents doing everything they could to make the world a better place for their 2 children, it has become equally as important for the 2 of them to make sure that they didn't make the same mistakes that their parents made with them. And at number 1 today, we have the parents' divorce. When Harry decided to share information about his parents' divorce, he would share with all of us that he was pulled from one place to another, and it was actually quite damaging on him. Speaking in episode 2 about the divorce, Harry would say, I think most kids who are the product of divorced parents have a lot in common no matter what's your background. Being pulled from one place to another, or maybe your parents are competitive and you're no longer just in one place that you want to be in. You're in another place less than you want to be in, and there's all sorts of pieces to that. Meghan would also recall her impact that separation of her parents had on her as she was a child, as she would have to vent her frustrations through a school assignment when she was just 12 years old. Meghan even wrote a poem that she would share with the documentary. 2 houses, 2 homes, 2 kitchen, 2 phones. 2 couches where I lay, 2 places that I stay. Moving here and there, from Monday to Friday, I'm everywhere. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but oftentimes it makes me sad. I want to live that nuclear life with a happy dad and loving wife, a picket fence, a shaggy dog, a fireplace with a burning log. But it's not real, it's just a dream. I cannot cry or even scream. So I sit here with cat number 3. Life would be easy if there were 2 of me. With both understanding the pain divorce can leave behind on a child, it's probably why the couple connected so well on their first date. Well, that's it for this video, my little peaches. Until the next one, remember to stay juicy.